Hi.
Welcome to the world of Harthron. I'm your host, storyteller, and dungeon master Bilbo. Tonight we continue with our second episode, Pirates of the Golden Plunder.
Yeah. Fine Vision Works.
Now, brought to you by Vision Works, I guess.
And Christian Brothers.
I understand we're going to have Dramire do the recap from our last episode. Go ahead.
So, last episode we started off waking up in this boat that we've been recently captured by
A boat?
It's a
ship.
It's a ship.
Warship. While
I'm on a boat with 300 people.
the two a small raft with 200 people. With the two people who escaped, Alexianna and I forgot.
Ace.
Eryn.
Or Eryn. Come on to join the crew. So we end up setting off when what happens. So we end up getting a job for after rowing the boat for several hours.
Yeah. Sad work life.
So I'm the one actually doing work. What do you do?
What else? Come on.
We get asked by the crew to help out the
Use you.
captain to try and locate this witch's house on an island. We all eagerly accept, trying to get away from rowing the boat. Well, someone not rowing the boat, but we accept, and we learn that Oliver loves his new cooking job.
And he's not coming.
Yeah, he's not coming with us. And we meet a new face. What's your character's name again?
Collin.
Oh, yeah, Collin.
Creepy.
Creepy Collin.
Yeah, we meet Collin, who's going to be the leader of our group. So we head off into the marsh on these two small boats. Actually, boats this time. When these two centipede-like creatures come out of the water, and we end up fighting them when Risna dives into the water. So that ends up being a whole battle underwater, which is actually pretty fun. But that ends pretty fast when we come up to this witch's hut, and we were told just to leave it. So once we knew the location, we went back to the ship, brought the captain here. The captain went in, and the door shut.
Very good, buddy.
And now we open the treasure.
All right, you want a luck card? Of course, right?
You know me.
Luck card from Nord Games. There you go. Go ahead and read it.
Now we should grab the treasure and run.
Advantage on skill or attack roll. It's an advantage die.
There you go. All right. So before we get going, let's go ahead and just go quickly around the room. Introduce your character name, class, level, and whatever else you want to like to share, except for Josh and Konrad. You keep quiet for now. Everybody else. So let's go ahead and start with Dramire.
So my name is Dramire, of course. I'm a level 3 cleric of Morgulog.
Very clear.
Nope.
He's a follower.
Nope.
I mean,
Well,
Don't
I
let
am a
him.
follower. So shush. Yeah.
I'm Ozichar, the 6th son. I'm a 3rd level paladin. I am a Morgulog paladin, leader of Morgulog and spreading his great word or her word. I don't know if Morgulog is a girl or a guy, but one day I hope to meet him or her, and I've already
Do whatever
made
you
one
want,
person
Morgulog.
converted. I already converted one person to Morgulogism,
Nice.
and I'm a Tiefling with ram horns and a 6-foot tall long tail.
What is Dramire?
I'm a Half-Orc.
I
Nice.
think he's a half-orc. We don't know what the
Colin?
other guy is.
Creepy. Creepy
Colin.
Yeah.
Colin, you're up.
I can be Half-Orc.
Collin is a former member of another party called the Great Guardians. his sister is back in on another continent, but in order to get off of the continent that he was on, he had to climb onto this ship, and he fell in with them. He's a Rogue 2 Fighter 3 half-elf.
And now Lich is having a fun time with his sister.
It better not be. It better not be.
Well, and
What do you know about this?
I just heard there's a Lich over there.
You heard? Yeah, but my sister shouldn't even be on.
All right, Alexianna.
Did I have to leave again?
Alright, so I'm playing Alexianna, who is a Tabaxi rogue, a swashbuckler. How fitting that she gets to now ride the waves, and finds it quite amusing that people are rowing the boat. And so far has done a great job of not getting in the water here.
Yes, almost though. Almost happened.
That's awesome.
Eryn.
I play Eryn, who is a 3rd level fighter. She's an elf, and
Badass archer.
yes. If you need an archer, just call me at 1-800. I don't know the phone number.
Perfect.
Risna.
I don't know the phone number.
I'm a dwarf. I don't like the water, and I don't like slavers. Done.
Male or female?
Doesn't matter to you. Don't ask that.
No one can tell anyway. No one can tell anyway.
You need to know. You'll know.
It's not sleeping with you either way.
All right, and then Handsome.
My answer doesn't know what he is. So.
Handsome.
Okay, I guess Handsome's away for a
Handsome.
Handsome's a halfling
Probably changing
lizard man.
second. Troglodyte.
Druids.
All right, well, Handsome will join us momentarily, I guess. Just dropped off for a moment. All right.
A Def Leppard cover band.
Turn cold.
All right, gang. So,
Ugly.
where we left off is where Captain Draven of the Golden Plunder stepped into the house in the middle of the swamp with the door being closed behind him as he enters into this witch's home.
You didn't say if the light went red or green.
It went red.
Should he go to green after it went red? Because it was red when we were
It's red. All of you sit in the 2 rowboats docked at the bottom of the stairs leading to the house. 5 minutes goes by.
Questions before that 5 minutes goes by. Which boat is the chest in?
The front one.
Oh, dang it. I was going to try to
You
do
hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's so annoying. All right, I'm back. Sorry.
All right, no worries.
The one with me and my foot is standing on it, so don't try and open it.
You didn't know I asked where it was.
All right, so 5 minutes, and it's a crate, not a chest. 5 minutes goes by, and it seems like an hour. The sounds of the night swamp doesn't help with your waiting. You see snakes moving along the tree branches nearby. There are ripples in the water that hit the side of the boats, but you hear nothing, no splashes. Eyes from the swamp look upon you all as its next meal.
Alright. I sit up on the post on the thing.
All right, so you sit up there on the dock.
That's cute.
Oh, if we can go on land, I go on land right away.
There is the dock. So you and Ozichar and Risna go stand on the dock. All right.
Why are you
I'm shield out. I'm ready to go.
All right.
I'm sitting on the little post.
Okay. 10 minutes goes by. Do you do anything?
What's
Yeah, let me
taking
know
you
when the
so
short rest
long
is
in
up.
there, Captain?
Were we told to wait here?
Yes. Yeah.
Every 10 minutes, I'll go up 1 step.
Get back down here.
Captain says wait. I'm moving so slowly you can't see me.
Get back.
I got that right.
This is not Guardians of the Galaxy. Get back down here.
After 15 minutes goes by, the door opens, and Captain Draven says, "Collin, Eryn, Handsome, please bring up the crate."
Handsome. You can't lift anything.
The rest of you, please bear with me a few more moments, and then we'll be on our way.
Well, I mean, us being the dwarf are already up here, so we might as well help bring in the crate.
Get down now.
It just makes sense.
No.
Like, it's like they can lift it up to us, and we can help bring it in.
I asked them to bring it.
All right. We'll just wait here still.
Yes, thank you. A few more moments, Ozichar, and we'll be on our way.
It's a long
So-
process. I hope it's worth it.
So Collin and
try to help them with it.
and Eryn grab each side of the crate with the ropes attached to it, and Handsome just kind of is trying to help a little bit on the side.
Mostly
here.
getting in the way.
Help me.
He's just really getting in the way. You guys come in, Collin, Eryn, and Handsome. As you enter the home, right away you notice the inside of the house appears much larger than the outside.
Wow.
As you all step in with the crate, you see a lit fireplace with a large black pot brewing something with a sweet odor coming from whatever is cooking in the pot. There is a wooden table with 2 chairs, and next to one of the walls is a green-covered love seat. The door closes behind you, and you hear a soft-spoken voice. "Just put the box over by the couch, please." You notice the voice comes from behind you, although you noticed no one other than the captain standing in front of you when you stepped in the home. Standing behind the 3 of you is a human woman with long, black, curly hair. She is very beautiful, and you must assume that she's probably maybe in her mid-20s. She has pale, white skin, but wearing some rosy cheeks, probably from makeup, and also red lipstick. She's wearing a black dress with a white shirt underneath as well. And she says, "Welcome to my home. Just put that over there," she says.
I instantly let go of it and then go jump on the comfy green chair.
He just runs. He just jumps up there. Feel free to make yourselves here at home. And then the Captain Draven says, "Eryn and Collin, if something ever should happen to me, return here, bring Handsome with you, and retrieve this crate from Eva Nora. Will you do this for me?"
You know I will.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So Eva Nora steps up to you and she says, "Can I see your hand for a moment? Collin, can I see your hand for a moment?" She takes your hand in her hand, and she looks at it, and then she takes her other finger, and then just when she touches with one of her fingertips, all of a sudden you're poked, and you just have a little poke, like a little blood, and she says, "Now go put your fingerprint where it's bleeding on the lock, please, on the crate." And then she says to Eryn, "Eryn, can I have your hand?"
Are you gonna do to me what you did to him?
"Yes, I am."
Captain, what happens if all 3 of us can't make it back here?
Why are you doing it?
As long as one of the 3 of you make it back here.
Why are you doing it?
It's to basically put a hold on that lock where only one of the 3 of you can ever open this lock. And she grasps her hand and with her other fingernail just pokes it just ever so gently. And she says, "Now, Eryn, will you go put just put a drop of blood on the lock over there. And then she comes up to Handsome on the couch and says,
I'm not on the couch anymore. I've got my finger in the stew.
all right, she turns, yeah. Oh, you're a fast little one, aren't you?
Sometimes. Only when there's good food.
Little bugbear
What
stew.
if we're running away from something?
Well, if it's okay, can I have your finger and just poke it just like I did your two friends here?
Is it gonna hurt?
No, it's not gonna hurt.
Okay.
All right, and she takes your hand and her hand, and she doesn't seem to be bothered by your looks whatsoever. She doesn't. She's not shocked, and she takes your crinkled up hand and takes her fingers and once again just pokes you right on the fingertip, and she says, "Now, will you just go quickly put a spot of your blood on that lock?"
Yeah.
All right. And then so Captain Draven says, "Thank you." And Collin, as I said, or Eryn, if one of you pass, or something happens to one of you and you can't make it back here, if something happens to me, please bring Handsome here.
Okay.
All right?
He'll be probably easy to carry anyways.
Yes, yes, he is very easy to carry. That is for sure. Okay.
Alright.
All right. And we're gonna have another crewmate, Captain Draven says. Why don't you come out? And Konrad, why don't you describe your character?
Alright, so a very young man, probably actually teenage years would come out, probably about 14, 13. He would just be about average height, maybe 5'8", and pretty thin. Fairly good looking, but he's in kind of dark attire, typical traveling equipment such as leather boots and gloves, and he has gray robes on with a few arcane marks on it. But he has fairly long black hair, similar to his mother's, that is tied into a ponytail. And he kind of has a little black goatee, and he has, similar to the movies, he has eyes that are completely black, just kind of like night.
You said his mother?
Yes, I did. And his features, despite being fairly good looking, his features seem fairly droopy, as if he's quite tired. He seems to almost sag a little bit, his shoulders are a little slouched, and so he'll come in and say, "Mother, must I go through with the niceties, or can you charm them into accepting me?"
I will let you build the niceties on the ship, my son, as you wish to go out on your own and learn your own fortune, as you must, and it's time for you to venture out on your own. You've studied, you've been here long enough studying the crafts. It's time for you to go out and find your own mark in the world. And so Captain Draven says, "Yes, this young gentleman wishes to travel with us, get on the sea. I think this swamps has done much to his complexion and needs some fresh salt air." And so,
What's your name?
Cardoma, what is your name?
Bilbo, I'm listening at the door if I can.
yeah, you could, absolutely. Just give me a perception check to see what you're hearing, though.
Perfect.
What do you bring to the table of an adventuring group?
Probably not.
I have
God damn it.
minor magical.
What was your name again? Madonna? That's a 9.
Not, yeah, you can't hear anything through the door.
What was his name again?
Handsome, this little guy, probably somewhere between 2.5 to 3 feet tall, is asking you what's your name again.
Oh, here we go again. Hello, my name is Cardoma. What is your name?
Sorry, I'm back now. I don't know why I keep disconnecting.
No, it's Cardoma.
Cardonna?
Cardoma.
And who are you, little one?
I'm Rickus. Some people call me handsome now. Everyone calls me handsome. Konrad, what you see is possibly the ugliest creature you've ever seen. He's possibly a halfling, maybe a gnome, but it's pretty hard to tell. On his scalp is a little 1-inch patch of gray hair. One of his eyes is larger than the other and bulbous. His body is somewhat malformed. However, he's dressed in trendy, multicolored clothing, and his skin kind of has a hint of a glisten with sparkles. I'd probably say a troll's turd sprinkled with pixie dust is the closest comparison to what you're seeing here.
In other words, he spent too many nights in the club doing
Underneath all of that, you sense a glimmer of charm and cheerfulness and possibly a feeling of pity.
Well, it is very nice to meet you, handsome. I think we will be good friends.
Really? I love making friends. I would love to have another friend.
Don't get him started.
I think we'll be
Your
great
mom's
friends.
very pretty,
Why, thank you.
and I like your house.
I'm a bit bored of it.
Do you have any interesting pets you're gonna bring with us?
I dabble in magic similar to my mother. It runs through the
Really?
family. How about
I've
you?
always wanted a parrot.
A parrot?
Let's talk about
Yeah.
Captain Draven says maybe we'll get you one in the next port we dock in there, handsome.
No.
They'll be babbling back and forth.
Yeah, no.
All right. Well, this is Eryn. She has just joined my crew, or well, maybe hasn't joined. That word might be overused at this time. She is working with us right now to kind of feel us out and us feel some of her group out who are out in the rowboats with us. But Collin has been part of my crew for a few months now. So
I suppose I should make the tiresome introductions that are necessary here.
yeah, why don't we go ahead and you can meet the rest of the group here out in the boats. It's about an hour by boat ride back to the ship.
This is a perfect time to meet the dwarf. He just took a bath.
Does Josh play?
No, his character is on the ship. So. All right. So you guys leave the house. Risna, you hear the door. The door starting to move. I'm assuming you probably shuffle back down the stairs.
We'll shove it violently forward.
Stand there. All right. Well, there isn't much room, so you're gonna have to move down.
Oh, excuse me.
You guys were hiding a person in the chest? That's just wrong.
All right, and so Captain Draven.
Bugbear? What was a bugbear?
I thought you were a bugbear.
Do you see these horns?
So Eva Nora says,
think
"Be
bugbears have
safe."
Oh,
horns.
that's right. You're a teenager.
I'll embrace her and give her one.
All right. So you see that two give each other. The one thing is too, Collin, is you definitely kind of cross this. He's probably in his late teens or
Early teens.
Early
13,
teens.
14. He's young.
and she looks like she's in her 20s.
No, I got that.
So okay.
I already figured she was older than she looks.
All right. So and maybe he is too. So you guys, Captain Draven says we have Cardoma is joining my crew, and so he wants to adventure on the high seas. So he's joining with us. That's okay, at least for the boat ride.
Cardoma with the hot mama.
More slaves. Great.
No, he's not a slave. You're not a slave. So you guys start rowing back, and you want to. Captain Draven says this is Ozichar, and this is Risna, and that is
Orc.
and this here is Alexianna, who's a Tabaxi. And then there's a half-orc, and this is Dramire.
Right, the group of odds and ends. Is there anything else I should know?
Not at this point, Captain Draven says. I mean, as I said, these fellows, this group is possibly joining my crew, or maybe they'll decide to do something else. It's up to them. We're trying to feel each other out.
Do
See
we
what they
have
want
a
to do.
spokesman for this group?
Hmm?
Do we have a
Spokes?
spokesman?
Oh, yes. The loudest one here.
Alexianna.
Yes.
I'm sure you're very convincing.
Oh, very
in the
much so.
public
I
atmosphere.
convinced
What is
this
it you need to
brave
know?
fella to let us come out on this.
Well,
mission.
I'm a bit dreary on the typical days, but if you need someone to speak, like now when it's necessary, I'm fairly good at it. But when I'm not so presentable, don't be caught off guard if I seem a little tiresome or a little irritable.
And you've had to travel with this one?
So I think you shouldn't piss him off, Collin.
Exactly.
That's all I'm gonna say.
If that was all you were going to say,
If that thing
We-
came out of that box,
Exactly.
don't talk to it. Okay. You come out of a box. Was that what is in the box, Captain?
No.
Alright.
See where the brain travels.
do you know how to do you know
What was
how
in
to
the box
cast
I'm
was his
just-
personality.
I'm just leaving something very valuable with Cardoma's mom.
Cardoma's mama.
So that's all. And just confirming a couple other things.
I knew we should have took
that
it,
I needed to
Risna.
confirm.
I'm impressed.
Damn it, Risna.
Well, Cardoma.
Should've
I'm
knocked
gonna call
Collin
him
out.
Karma?
I agree. Let's talk later.
He's now
So as you guys are rowing back in the boats, Captain Draven sits next to Risna and says, "So Risna, so I understand you don't agree with my tactics on how I bring on crew onto my ship, or some of my crew, I should say."
Those orcs could have killed us.
Yeah, I had I had nothing to do with those orcs in the sense of capturing you, other than me knowing about them and purchasing you from them versus ending up in who knows whose hands.
How loud can I?
That wasn't.
You paid them.
Yeah, I paid them for you to not be in any other bad situation. I buy a lot of
It's
slaves,
okay, it's fairly simple.
and
Right,
I
exactly.
It kind of has a
Support
juicy
slavery.
quality to it.
I don't support slavery at all.
You just told me you supported it.
I try to buy and free slaves as much as possible. So I don't support it. But if I find out that somebody's selling slaves, I will try to purchase those said slaves and then free them at a later
How about
date.
this? I'll make a deal with you. I'll work for you if we go back to where those old orcs are and slaughter their whole tribe.
Maybe,
That's how we know you don't support slavery.
We'd have to kill this one too if we did that, because he's a part of their tribe.
maybe at a later time, but I have some pressing business before I deal looking for some orc slavers wandering around the lands of Koran.
They sure talk a lot for people that just came out of chains.
Now,
They realize they can go back in.
Who was in chains?
Collin. Should know better.
As we see, the slaver mentality, right?
Yeah.
Colin's only been with me for a few months. He still hasn't quite grasped some of.
He wants us in chains, put us in chains, and I'll still whoop his ass.
I'm not putting you back in chains.
See, Collin, we were never slaves to begin with.
Maybe just
See,
over-
Risna, we're not slaves.
maybe
He
just
was
overboard.
Yeah. Now, they were captured by some orc slavers, and I heard about these orc slavers, and I went to see if I went down the river to see if it was true or not, and if I could find these orc slavers and buy whatever slaves that they had.
Why didn't you just free us? Why didn't you slaughter them instead of paying them? It's gonna encourage them to do more.
Well, they'll continue to do that anyways. Wasn't their whole tribe. I mean, but that's
Not
what
if
their
they're
tribe
rotting
does.
flies down the
Is
open,
mutant
getting
something
picked
we
to
should be
death
worried
with
about?
vultures. They're not going to.
I've learned a great deal about slavery at much higher level than those orcs could ever produce. At one time, the ship that I currently have was more than half that ship was filled with slaves. I set free every slave on that ship. Some stayed on, a lot, some died, and a lot have dropped off into many ports. Some very wealthy by the end of it. And as time has gone by, when I've had opportunities to purchase slaves, I've purchased them. I've had them work a little bit and set them free, usually in the next port city we go to. Some stay on as crew members. And usually they're not in chains. Once in a while I have to have somebody that it's usually more of a humanoid, like Dramire there, like an orc or somebody that's just unruly. I've had some situations like that. And those usually end up going very bad. But, I mean, your race, I know your race doesn't take slaves. But should I just kill every goblin and every orc out there? I know, it might be the Dwarven
It sounds like a good plan.
Every goblin, yes, agreed.
But I have a goblin. I have a loyal goblin that's on my crew.
Don't trust him.
Are you still trying to figure out how to
Are
hide
you
that
speaking
body?
of handsome?
No, handsome.
Handsome. Goblin we need to hide.
No, handsome. We kind of met on an island. Handsome, maybe you want to tell them a little bit about how I discovered you.
Well, so I don't know. They have a story they tell. I don't know if it's true, but it's just what they say. Hold on a second. I'm looking for. Trying to remember here. Okay, so I remember, and no one told me this. I just overhear him talking about it sometimes, but. They say my mom was a goblin and she was raped by a troglodyte. She was so shocked by how hideous I was, she threw me into the sea. And they said that the sea monsters then spat me out onto an island where crabs built a wall of sand around me so they wouldn't have to look. And that's where they found me.
And that's how homunculus is.
And Draven goes, that's not true at all, of course. I have some crew members that are very cruel to handsome.
Because the word you're looking for is creative, not cruel.
And when I hear words of that, I scold those crew members at any chance. But I was drawn to an island. And I found Handsome, and he has been with my crew ever since.
How large is this crew of yours?
Oh, my crew,
Yeah.
my ship.
Yeah.
It's
Best crew.
as you now row out of the swamps and now off the shore, you see this large warship out in the water. That he goes, my crew is 100 and at full is 175.
Oh god, I don't know if I can fake this long.
There's a lot of interesting smells on the ship.
It's a warship.
I don't not have to meet everyone today, correct?
No, you can take your time and meet who you would like
But
to
if you
meet.
hang out with Handsome, he'll probably take you on and introduce you to each one of them personally.
I know everyone.
Yes, handsome knows everyone. That is
And
for
everyone
sure.
knows handsome.
So, as you all row back to the ship, to the Golden Plunder, it's waiting there, and the ropes are cast down to bring you guys all up, and up above, once again, you see this. Why don't you go ahead and describe your character, Josh?
Oh, you guys. All right, we're back.
Then get the ship.
All right. I'm Quiquay.
Oh
What?
Go ahead and describe yourself.
Describe
You did
myself.
what?
I just Quiquay myself. What happened?
What I miss?
What I miss?
No, what did I miss?
Describe myself. Oh,
What do you look like?
I look like 6'5", just this enormous tattooed individual, just tattoos on his face, and they're not just normal tattoos. They're
Is this the one
carved.
goodbye to us?
Yes.
This is a carved into his face because that's actually how the Maori did it. So there, but there's a description in Moby Dick where it said that he looked like. They said he looked like George Washington got cannibalistically developed. That his face looks like a mildewed skull. Now, it's just yeah.
We're just
he
a
has
whole bunch of
tattoos.
pretty people here.
Yeah.
Colin's feeling pretty good looking right about now.
Yeah, he's clean shaven. He has no hair on his body. Tattoos, enormous. Looks like he does not skip any meals just because he's just thick Islander. Purple because of so much blue ink on him, almost. And he smells like what we were talking about earlier, like a high school hockey locker room after a keg party. But you can see that he also has a big spear that he has, and on one end it's a club, and the other end it's a big feathered, nasty-looking spearhead. And he also seems to carry a big wicker and leather shield,
Nice.
which with ornaments. And you can see he's constantly manipulating this earth goddess-looking wooden idol on his chest. And you could even see him looking at it, like looking inquisitive at it and talking to it, and rubbing it all the time, speaking to it inquisitively. And unfortunately, it seems like he's getting answers.
All right. And so you all board back on the ship, and the captain says to his helmsman, he says, "Let's make our way to Freeport." And comes back to all of
I
you.
get it because he frees all his slaves at Freeport. Awesome. That's where you set people free.
Sure we don't have
I say
a
that.
manuscript that has silence.
Well, I will set people.
Wisdom of it.
He says, I will set people free there. Yes, I will. So we're heading to Freeport. It's a large city here in northeast Koran, and then from there we're going out for quite a while. It's your guys' choice. All of you, Risna, Ozichar, Dramire, Alexianna, Eryn. If you wish to stay with us, you can. You can spend a couple days in Freeport. Once we're stocked up with certain supplies that we need, I will let you know what we're doing next if you're interested in joining. It will be very rewarding in the sense of treasure-wise of what we're going to do. But that's kind of the only details I will give on that until you've decided to join us or not after our time in Freeport.
May I speak to you privately, Captain?
Absolutely.
I bet it'll be lots of fun.
Yes, handsome. It will be a lot of fun.
Are you picking up more slaves here?
No, I will be setting some.
Oh, it's Freeport, like I just said. You can only be free in Freeport.
There are probably slaves on a lot of these ships.
Why do you gotta run it, Captain?
I'm just being honest. There's probably a lot of slaves in Freeport, as well as many of the ships that will be in and out of there. But I will be setting some people free if that's their choice that I have down below. Pay them, and if they want to continue, they'll continue on. After that, as I said, every port city we go to.
Yeah, we get paid soon. Awesome.
So,
I swear somebody dropped a message.
all right. So you wish to speak? So he says, "Well, you can come down to my quarters, and he'll bring you down below." So as you'll see, so the top deck is almost, in a sense, flat. There's a blue canopy in the back of the ship where the rowing, or not the rowing, sorry,
The helmsman?
the helmsman's at. But that's covered up even in the front, like a blue curtain is down, so it's like totally covered. You see, as you were approaching, you saw a lot of oars already in the water. And as he brings you down, you go down one deck, and it's open in a sense. It's like open air, right beneath. And there's no benches, but you see a bunch of oars laid down. No one's on them, but they're all laid down next to the walls of the ship, and there's just oar holders spaced out. And then you go to the next level, and here you see some benches. And this now with the men, you see men rowing the boat, about 25 on each side, rowing the boat. There's hammocks in places and such. And then you go down below the next deck. There's more men rowing. Here, very tight quarters. There are no hammocks. It looks like you'll see some people here in chains, and they're rowing the ship as well. But they don't have any room whatsoever. Like they probably have to sleep on the floor when they do sleep. Not much room. You go below that, and it opens up into a large galley. There's all these supplies. There's two doors, and he brings you in one, which is in the rear of the ship, and there's another door up front. And he brings you in to his quarters down below. Says, yes,
It's a
Cardoma?
simple matter, although
Okay.
I appreciate the ship tour. Mother has conveyed that she ultimately believes you to be a fairly honorable person, so I feel obliged to be of assistance. I do not know if you have a specific spokesperson for your ship, but I just wanted to let you know that I am fairly capable of being persuasive when appropriate. So I'd just like you to keep in mind that if you need someone to run business for you or spread your good name, I am the ideal candidate for such.
Well, I will definitely keep that in mind. I do have my first mate. His name's Carlsberg. I'm sure you'll meet him later, and he's been with me really since the beginning. He really takes care of most stuff on land when we're docked or whatever, or maybe I do some stuff. But he does a lot of that. But spreading my name and goodwill is always appreciated.
Any business you need done as well, and more deceptive acts as well, I can assist with.
Well, that is good to know. I mean, there will definitely be times where that comes into play in certain towns or cities in the future. Here, we just plan to dock for a couple days. We were just in another port just a couple days ago. That's when I took where I took on Ozichar and his gang, and Risna and them. So I've ended up purchasing them from some orc slaver, and led by some ogre. And so we're not still trying to build a relationship here.
I see
But,
that. Some of them do speak pretty freely, that's for sure.
yeah, and to be honest, I'm fine with my crew speaking freely too. I'm not one of these captains that's gonna, throw a tantrum if somebody says something, a smart aleck comment or something like that, or be upset. But my men are loyal. Some of them are still learning. As Collin is still trying to learn how to lead. But he's kind of right now. He's had a difficult run. He had a group before these. And that's kind of why we're in this situation. Is we were out looking for something on land, and Collin led a group, and they ended up getting ambushed by some hill giants, and took out the whole team other than Collin. And so hence I needed a new kind of landing party, exploring party, and a couple of them, Eryn and Alexianna joined on as crew. I'm assuming they were probably going to try to free their friends, even though their friends were going to be free momentarily. And then I found out that they're adventurers, mercenaries, whatever you might call them. And
We had a traitor amongst us.
so I, had them basically find your house. That was their first kind of maybe mission, or maybe in the sense of repayment for me purchasing them. But we'll see if they stay on board. Freeport will give them that opportunity. They may head on out. And I welcome you to travel with them in Freeport, and especially if you can speak. I think Ozichar may get them in trouble.
Yes.
I may have a couple other crew members go with them too.
The Morgulog doesn't get
I'm
in
not
trouble.
sure if there's anything I can do to prevent him getting them.
Well, maybe apologizing to somebody might
It seems
might work.
tiresome, but
So.
yes.
How to get.
So.
Very well. Do you have a place for me to rest, Captain?
Yes, I will put you in their area. I have an area down here.
Good heavens.
So everybody, there's only one room here, and that's my room. Everybody else sleeps on either different levels or the decks and hammocks. But you guys have your own kind of little section off, and there'll be a hammock available for you. And he says, and then he opens the door, and the one down here is the galley. The kitchen is the other door, and there's Nat and I guess another one of their counterparts, Oliver, but he was just not a good oarsman, and I don't know if
I'm a bitter
I
cook.
don't know if he's much of an adventurer or mercenary either. But man, he can make some great food.
Wait till I bring
Yes, that
He's
seems
had
so.
I've had desserts from him, which was just outstanding. I mean, it's done, and to be on a ship and having dessert
Explodes in your
is
mouth.
it's a big morale booster for my men. So it's nice to have. So
Very well. Well,
Could you do
have a good rest, Captain, and I will see to my chambers.
all right. So what did the rest of you guys doing? Alex, you had something?
Huh?
What do you want?
I know we can name our group the Doras.
No, the Explorers.
No, sorry, that's taken.
Dora the
Been
Explorer?
kicked off the ship permanently now.
Yeah,
Or
that was-
get out.
Please
That's
don't believe
out of
that's a
game
terrible
comment.
name.
That's
So-
a
That
real
was an out of
Christmas.
game comment.
Okay.
But we should
So,
probably vote to. So this is again. We should probably vote to see if we're gonna stay on the ship or.
Scouting out all
Captain Dreamy's ship is
of
not
their
democracy.
defenses, armory, how many men they.
What was that?
We lost. Yeah.
That's what Risna's doing. She's checking out all of the men at arms, where there are, what they're wearing. You don't need to give me all the details, but
No, but I can give you kind of some of the details, to be honest, because yeah, if you guys are looking at that part in a sense. So, like I said, there's a crew. You definitely figure it's probably about a crew of about 175. The bottom level is mainly slaves. There's probably about 40 down there right now. Half of them are still in chains. The other half are free. There are at the mid level, you think it sleeps in mid level of the other Roman. There's probably about 50 there, and then down below the deck where you're at, and then some up above. There's about another 50 guys there. For the most part, a lot of the weapons are down below. In the very low part where you guys sleep, where a lot of the other guys sleep, and also at the second level where the other 50 oarsmen, where they have their hammocks and stuff. You'll see weapons. In the sense of the weapons you see, it's quite the variety. I mean, just everything. So you see. There's, a lot of, especially on the second level, a lot of crossbows and bows there, hand axes, daggers, short swords, long swords, cutlass, rapiers, spears, all sorts of, just different weapons in that sense. The ones that really stand out crew-wise as you guys travel on sea the next day or so. First, the first mate, Carlsberg, this dwarven fellow here, and as I said, and you'll notice this too. So he's a dwarf, but he's completely hairless. He's completely bald, clean in the sense clean shaven, but in the sense there's no 5 o'clock shadow ever. There's nothing. His chest, he has no hair on his arms, his chest. And he walks around usually on the ship shirtless, but darker skin, more brownish skin, like he's been in the sun a long time. And he has a hammer, usually on his side. The other person that you guys get wind of is this helmsman, and he's a blue. Colored, his skin is blue colored with black horns. He's a tiefling, and he's a helmsman, but he usually stays behind this blue curtain and this blue canopy where he stays, and also Collin will go back there in a sense and take up the helm. Usually at night is usually what Collin will, one of the shifts.
Kind of good stuff.
The other person that you will meet, the quartermaster, his name is Googs, and Googs the Red, and he's a large goblin. Like he's probably 5 feet, just bulking goblin, and he has a red mohawk, and you learn that he's like their shaman. He's like their medic on the ship here.
I guess the captain didn't take my offer of diplomacy very seriously, given his right-hand crew right here.
You also meet the shipwright. His name is Middle Splinter, and he's a gnome. And you find out that he's a wizard of some sorts. And the one thing that you guys see is really odd is he has this weird-looking device on his side. Just so you guys know, he has a flintlock pistol that's on his side that you guys have never seen. You're like, what is that? It could be a wand or a rod or whatever, but that's what he has. He has a flintlock.
What was his name?
His name is Middle Splinter.
It's a bolus.
And he's a gnome wizard.
It's
Yeah, so you'll learn that. The other two big guys that you will pick out, of course, which you've already met, Blogtar Skull Crusher. He is he's the Half-Orc. And he's really muscled, about 5'8". He carries this femur bone of who knows what humanoid as a weapon, and he also does he beats a big drum in a sense to keep the oarsmen right. The other one is Tylan the Cleaver. Sorry, he's a Minotaur.
Oh my god.
And he is missing his left horn, and he's also big, but he's hunched down.
They're called
And,
the Wright brothers. They both have a
He has this long blade on his side, and it's just like a big meat cleaver, but it's right by his side. And he's also one of the drummers that keeps the beat down below the decks for the oarsmen. And you also learn that Handsome does it in the evenings. Handsome does this medley with the drums and just kind of keeps a nice, calming, cool beat in the evenings when the oarsmen are rowing at night.
The ship travels a lot slower than it.
Yes.
I'm the main act. These guys are just buffoons as well.
And Mother said, just go out your door, travel, explore.
There's also about 10 other people that you see that are there. They work with the mast. They're usually a lot of times up above top deck. They do the sails, work with the mast. There's a young lookout that's usually up in the lookout tower. A young high elf male that you see him up there usually during the day. And then you also meet the cook. He's a halfling named Nat. The crew and stuff, they call him Four Fingers, and you notice he's missing his right pinky finger. And then Oliver, heavy set, jolly guy. He's also in as a cook too, and that's kind of basically the rundown of the crew.
Pleasure
of the
to
ship.
meet you. Would you care for some bananas, Foster?
Instead of magic missile, it's magic tart.
Perhaps a little cherries jubilee.
But Oliver, is your magic missile a magic tart? Instead?
No, it's a magic banana. Covered in caramel and brandy sauce. And flavor.
Demon, are you gonna want to stay with the slaver?
I know you're not talking to me.
Well, you know I am talking to you. Called you demon 100 times before. I don't know why you think I was talking to someone else.
I thought there was another demon on the boat that you're talking
Well,
to.
there is, but I don't talk to him.
Doesn't matter to me. I mean, we don't have to free anybody because they said we're not slaves. So I mean, we might as well stick with them and get loot and kill things.
Kill things for money.
Or we can jump off this ship and swim to the nearest island. It's probably the
I
safest.
say we make a deal. We only work with him if he frees all the slaves and agrees not to take any more while we're here.
Like, wait, what do you mean by all the slaves? Like, do you mean all the
60
slaves
down
in
below.
the world, or like just these slaves right here?
Oh, you're so.
And we get rid of Dramire too.
I've been on that mission for day one. I didn't even want to bring him as a captor. I didn't want to free him from the goblins. I say we trade him for Oliver.
I freed mine.
Here's nice. Catwoman, what do you say?
I'd say it'd be fun to go sailing the seas. Sure. Why not?
No, it sounds terrible. What the hell are you talking about?
I
You're
say.
damn cat.
I say.
We're on a big ship. What's the point?
We've got to get rid of the slaves. We can't sail with slaves.
Well, so far it sounds like he's running a slave freeing ship.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah, you don't buy slaves and pretend like you're supporting it.
Well, would you rather have them buy slaves than keep them?
I'd rather have them kill the slavers the next time he meets them.
Well, then no one would be getting a good chance to have a job and then be richer when they go back out in the world.
What if
They absolutely could. They would have to be hired.
well, if we run across as a group a bunch of orcs, for instance, who have captured slaves, we could just decide to kill the orcs and then offer the slaves the chance to come aboard and be part of the pirate crew.
Slaves? It sounds great, but I'm not going to sail with 40 slaves below deck, so that's non-negotiable. I just want to know if you guys are with me or not.
Well, they're freed at the
I'm
next
confused.
port.
What would we be? How would we be with you to do what?
You realize it's their choice to decide if they're slaves or not. Like, they could just literally get off at this port and be fine.
All right, Collin.
So
No.
you're saying you don't want any slaves on this ship?
I'm not sailing with.
But who's gonna row the boat then? Because I'm not.
He can
I'm
use
gonna
some
sneak away from this. Go
people
find
like
the
every other
captain.
ship.
All right.
Captain, the dwarf is starting trouble down there.
What do you mean, sorry, trouble?
Something about needing to free all the slaves on this ship. I think he's gonna try for a mutiny.
I'm not worried about Risna trying to throw a mutiny on my crew.
Point is, do I really have to travel with these things?
As of right now, yes.
I said the same.
Right now, and like I said, if they decide to, and once we get to Freeport, if they decide to get off, then they can get off. There's no problem with that, Collin.
And if they come with
You have
us,
to learn to.
and if we go on and I happen to misplace a few of them on the way back, that's okay.
No, that's not okay. We're in this position right now.
Maybe not all of them, just one or two or
Because
three.
you left your last comrade behind.
You're not. Stop. So,
Make your finger goals into fish.
we're look. There's not going to be a mutiny. Okay.
Oh, I realize that.
So the 20 that I have in chains right now that will let them go. In the next port, if they so choose. Then I'm pretty sure we can deal with 20
I'm just saying we can
slaves.
hand it off at the pass. Dwarves don't swim very well. We just toss them over and be done with it.
I'm not doing that.
She swam pretty well in the swamp.
No, she sank like a rock to the bottom.
But yeah, Colin, we have to work on patience. Remember, it was you guys walked into an ambush of hill giants, which yes, I know you had a couple dwarves.
How do you not see them?
It's always the dwarves. That's my point.
But you can't hold. I mean, what about what about Carlsberg? He's level-headed. He's not.
And that demon, he's a little touched in the head.
Well, so is Mikhail. He's very touched in the head. Look at our crew. Look at the crew. It's a bunch of misfits. They'll fit in just perfectly if they so choose. Our crew is a bunch of misfits.
At least I trust Hanson.
Yeah, well, I trust Hanson too. So you have to build trust and work with them. If they so choose, they're going to be part of the landing parties and exploring. And I really need you to lead them and to be forgiving and patient with them, because there are some very valuable things that we're about to go after.
I understand, but if we get the valuable things, if one of them just happens to slip on a knife and,
No, Colin, no.
That's
Not
what
at
happened to
all.
his last team.
No.
I'm telling you right now, this guy is a mass murderer that you allowed on your ship.
You're not even.
You're not there.
You're still busy planning a mutiny down below.
So it's exciting. Yeah.
He's not.
Who's trying to decide to trust us?
What's up?
You should be
What's
asking
up,
to trust our captain.
handsome?
All right.
It's 2 o'clock. You want to help me feed the slaves?
Yeah, I'll help free the slaves. Let's go down there. No, feed. You got the key? I got the key to the soup kitchen. No, let's just get a hammer then. We don't even need a key. Let's just take. Yeah, I'll play music for him, and you can help me feed him.
No, I say I'll help you.
You need to be nice to them.
Handsome, I'll help you.
They don't have jobs yet. They have jobs. Oh my God, you people.
I say I'll help you, handsome.
Thank you.
All right. So
Dramire goes off and helps handsome.
all right. Help feed the.
An Archer, cat lady. Are we gonna be united? Am I gonna go tell the captain that I'm by myself here?
I want to stay off because I
confused.
want to
I'm confused what you're asking. So you're asking, should we get off of here at Freeport and go do something else?
Nope. I'm saying we're not gonna travel with them if you keep slaves on board.
What's your
You
definition?
do realize
of
we're
slaves?
at sea, right?
Don't waste my time, cat
The
lady.
ship is
Stand the
moving.
point. Are you gonna travel with slaves or not?
He seems like he's pretty reasonable. It's not exactly like he's,
keeping them without their will.
he's.
Seems like he
No,
only has
he's not.
Half-Orc
It's
slaves.
not like he's a goody two shoes freeing slaves left and right. I
know.
agree.
I'll come back now.
But he's also not killing them, and he's freeing them after a pretty short amount of time and feeding them fine.
How about this as a condition? Right hook, Tusk needs to be fired because he beats the slaves, and that's not good. What do you think?
Oh, you guys are stupid.
That takes out the beating of slaves. Now
I'm
they're
glad I
not
left.
in harsh treatment anymore. They're not in bad
I
conditions.
wouldn't try to do that if I were you.
I didn't say kill him. I said he has to leave.
He's
Two
not
different
going
things.
anywhere because he's been here a lot longer than you have.
We were just talking about conditions here, Collin.
And you're not even here.
Yes, he is.
Actually, I
Yeah,
am. I just came back.
Just came back.
Dang.
And I'm gone. I'm lucky.
Long and short of it, are you guys going to come with us when I go to
I'd
retrieve
be
these
back
items?
here, sir.
Well,
Retrieve
I think
items.
the
What?
dwarf thinks that your captain still has slaves
retrieving
on the ship.
things for the captain. I don't know what
He
they are,
does.
but
There's 20 in the basement.
like he
Well,
said, there's plenty of opportunity for making money. Now, if you want to make money, come with us. Don't worry about the rest of it. When we get to Freeport, all the people that are here are free to go wherever they choose. They can stay or go. They will not be kept as slaves.
What if you just followed on a rowboat, Risna, and then you wouldn't have to be on the slave boat?
No.
It's a smart analogy.
So-
That's
So
the first
Collin,
time
they're
ever.
freeing all the slaves at Freeport and not picking up any new ones.
Well, we're not picking up any new ones.
If he gets any new, no, he's not picking any up in Freeport. Not unless he
And
can.
he's freeing the 20 down below.
Yes, they're free to go or stay as they please as soon as we hit the docks. They don't have to stay here. They're not his slaves.
I'll stay on board as long as there's no slaves on board. The second you pick some up, I'm gone.
If he picks them up, this is what you don't understand, Risna. The only reason that he picks them up is so that he can free them later.
I don't care. I've already heard this story 10 times. It's pathetic.
Captain Graver, can I eat
I
it?
keep buying the slaves to free them. Where do you think the gold's going?
Oh,
Well,
that's
that's your choice. You can
I know
go
what
if
you're
you
talking about. There's
you
no
can
choice.
go if you'd like, Risna, but you're losing an awful lot of opportunity for money.
There's
Yeah,
always
dwarf,
more money
you
somewhere
can't-
that doesn't
you can't
involve
fight
working
against
with
money.
slavers.
Wait,
You
say-
can't
That's your
fight against
choice.
money.
Say he's buying them to feed
Any
them.
type of money is more
Away
important
from
than a
the
human
captives.
soul to a dwarf.
I'm away now. I can't talk.
Am I correct?
Would you rather have more slaves in better condition or less slaves in worse condition?
Let me tell you what this captain does. He makes more slaves. Every time he takes gold and throws it at slavers, that's more slavery right there.
So wait. What if we got to town and we buy slaves
Oh, jeez, we're already off to a great start.
and we immediately free them, so they don't have that time where they have to be in chains.
How about we go to where the slaves are and kill all the slavers, like I've suggested 10 times?
But then the slavers
Sometimes you
come
can't
after
do
us.
that. That's the point.
So what,
Not
you're,
without dying.
so what you're saying
And
is,
often you can.
so what you're saying is, the 2 days that we're docked there, you want to go free slaves and be slave
Free us.
slave
That's
captor
a
hunters,
fine plan. I like it.
and
Good
then
job.
come back to the ship, get on the ship, and leave, so that we can't be caught by any city guard.
Love it. Let's do
All right.
that.
Let's go.
Guys,
Me and-
We hear you.
hello?
Yeah.
Hey, handsome.
Wait, both of us are gone
Does-
feeding. Right
Does
now.
anyone have any healing spells?
Me? I'm with him, so I'll say.
You won?
I accidentally tipped the cauldron over on a slave and he's screaming.
I'll go over.
I need help.
Okay,
Drum came back and I was holding the cauldron and he let go of it and
Of course.
Oh, handsome.
well, I'm with him, so I'll be healing the slave.
All right.
And I'm like,
Oh, handsome.
Demon, let's go challenge that
I
Minotaur.
need some more food too.
Wait. What are we doing? Killing slave captors or challenging the Minotaur? I didn't want to challenge the Minotaur. I wanted to kill his right-hand man. Right husk man, I should say.
Yeah, let's go challenge him to a fight. You and I.
You're not gonna kill anyone.
I said I'm good until we get to the port, and then we can go kill some slave captors, and then we can talk about killing the dude with a femur bone of some creature I've never seen.
Alright.
It's pretty big. It hurt my head and knocked me right out.
you're always.
You healthy now?
Don't worry.
Hmm?
I want to become the ship leader one of these days.
Are you sure you're not a welder?
Yes, I'm very sure.
Just in disguise, you sure sound like one.
All right.
Hey Risna.
Well done. I think if there's anyone in my group who's gonna be Eryn.
Hey, Risna, handsome's talking to you.
Risna.
Stop!
We might have lost.
Do I know a secret?
We might have lost him. Risna
I
doesn't
guess
talk
you
to
don't know
people that
secret.
are shorter than her. Sorry. All right. So as you guys travel a couple days, Collin,
Do we
the
heal up?
captain. Yeah, you're all healed. The captain is going to say one of the nights. Why don't you have when you're on duty? Why don't you pick a couple of these part of Ozichar and Risna's group to watch the deck one night while you're rowing. Or not rowing, but while you're stirring the ship. You say Ozichar or Risna? Awesome. You can pick who you want.
Okay. I choose you, Pikachu.
And Quiquay, you always sleep on the top deck. So you
God
you
help
love
those
this.
who sleep below me.
Yeah, you sleep always on the top deck at night. You like to see air. You know, like you usually don't go
You see
below
him
deck
Yeah.
that often.
That fits the island.
Are you very observant?
Yes.
How about that one?
Yes.
And you two, come with me.
Yes.
You're gonna be my watch. Look out.
Yes. Yes.
I choose them.
Okay.
I'll spend the day following Risna around, playing various music, trying to find what he likes.
What they like.
So
I think
Where do you
she
spend
she / prefers it, but
That-
yes,
This is-
that's what dwarves. I found out you call dwarves it.
down below. Yeah. Back in the.
So the dwarves trans.
So it's.
Huh?
Is it-
Risna, I have drums.
Risna's trans.
So you want help watching?
No.
Yes.
Okay. So I
Handsome, where do they
yeah.
keep the keys for the slave shack? Hey,
Goes
you want to
down
know a
below
secret? Yeah, I want to know that
Nice little
secret.
hammock.
All the slaves are gonna stay
Come up
on.
and
Because they
then
like us so
scratch her
much.
behind the ear.
If they liked it so much, they wouldn't need to be slaves. He could just hire them.
I'm on the G-spot.
He could hire them from the start.
Well, you can't leave them on the island where we picked them up at.
Bill, did you hear that?
No.
Anyways,
She asked if she needed to take a nap so that I could go, so she could watch tonight. And I said, "Yep." And then I went and scratched her behind the ear, and she started doing all this.
All right. Let's change scene out here. So I can get the figures off him.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I gotta get the city ready for the slavers that we're going to kill.
You're gonna go kill
So
someone.
is there like a little table down in our area
No.
that
There's
he
no-
can sit at, or
There's no table.
Just a bunk?
Huh?
bunks, or
Just
Or
hammocks. Yeah.
If you want a table, I can get you a
There
table.
might be a coil of ropes around somewhere that you can curl up in.
There's crates and barrels that you could easily set up as a table.
make a table.
Yes, but there's no tables. But there's definitely crates and barrels that you could just basically add half and make a table.
I think you're on that camera over there.
Yeah, I know, but the big one up there is.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice.
That's cool.
I did that before I got here.
All right. So let's put Collin in the very back, and then let's put
City cat at front.
Tabaxi and Eryn, and then Quiquay. I have the plastic right there in front of you, Konrad.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He'll be on top deck too, but he'll be like laying down sleeping.
Sure.
Wait, that's.
No honey.
All right.
I'm praying on my spells, like mess around.
It's night, so this will be like you guys are sleeping.
Oh, so after.
Yeah, he always sleeps on deck.
Oh, after I change my
Claustrophobia.
spells.
What's his name on drum duty?
Yeah, he'll be on drum duty below, but he's down below. So, but the rest of you guys are sleeping. The water's calm. The boat's rowing slow. Like I said, half the people are rowing at night here.
Something suspicious. No.
Yeah. So.
How's a cat supposed to know it's suspicious on the water? Sounds good.
All right.
I saw a dolphin, but looked like a dolphin.
And as Eryn is just watching, all of a sudden out of the water, comes this just streak of water coming up, just this large form of water, and it comes and swats at you, misses your head, then just goes right over your head, and you just see this water. It's just this huge form of water coming all the way down from the water, still connected, kind of halfway up the deck here.
Do we see this?
Yeah, you guys see this. We're gonna roll initiative.
Wait,
Yeah.
so this is a couple days later?
Yes.
Okay,
buddy.
good.
Even though it's below deck, just rolling.
Yeah, just roll. Because
We'll wake up.
You'll probably wake up. So.
Oh, I pressed, yay! What did you get? A little bit less than 20.
Just to sleep it.
Starting good.
Not for long.
Starting good.
Hey, we have Karma and.
Karma?
Yeah, that's what I'm calling him.
Quiquay.
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 How did you get that name?
What's that?
How did you get that name?
What we did.
Oh.
Quiquay.
That's awesome.
And then Karma.
If my chest were a cannon, I fired my heart at
I have no idea how I
I like it.
misplaced pencils.
He said that-
Showing it, I'm gonna call him Quick.
That's what
Quiquay.
Ahab said that about Moby Dick, but
Ah.
Picard also said that about his passion for destroying the Borg.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just getting a couple cards
Ward
for
was his Moby Dick.
our new crew.
Quick to Quick.
Quick. No!
Quag.
Quick.
Quick finds that unacceptable.
Quag.
Quick.
Quag.
Quick. Quick.
Quag. What's his name?
All right. So let's go ahead. Anybody above a 20?
22.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were rogue.
Oh, that's 22.
Roll perception check. No, we can't do it.
All right. Anybody else above a 20? All right. 16 to 20.
18.
18.
All right. So I'm gonna put you first.
Yep.
Alex.
Alexander.
Cardoma's a 19.
Oh, you're 19. Cardoma's 19.
I was playing like crazy.
You know, 19, you were saying.
You must be fast though, being a Catholic.
So fast.
Yeah.
She's fast like me.
They can move double their
Sorry.
movement,
Probably a little faster.
pretty much.
I still got 1 point to go.
They can move double their movement every other turn if they stop for the whole turn.
Oh, really?
Double movement.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I use for Curse of Strahd. Tabaxi. No one knows what I am in this land, though. That's hilarious.
Or more
Oh.
than
Me or
whatever.
the Dragonborn.
I have speed of 40.
Sorry.
Half-Orc, right?
Cards are sticking together. All right. So.
Curse of Strahd.
Oh.
How no one knows the Dragonborn.
All right. Anybody else above a 16? All right. 11 to 15.
Answer
11,
was a 13.
13. Did you say?
Yep.
All right. Anybody else 11 to 15? Once. Going twice.
Fancy is fancy fast.
6 to 10.
6 to 10.
I'm a 10.
All right. So Risna's 10.
9.
Who's 9?
8.
9
Ozichar's
is
9.
Ozichar. 8 is Eryn.
Yep.
Who's 7?
Quiquay.
Nope.
What are you?
6.
5.
No,
Oh.
you were
I'm
last.
sleeping.
Yes.
Quiquay is just snoring. Like, do we all awake because of his snoring?
No.
Unless I got a 1.
All right. So, Collin, you were first act. You see this this large just water, this wave of water come and swing over Eryn's head. Just this big swoosh of water. What do you do?
So I have 2 questions.
Yes.
First off, is there a rope? Some ships back in old times had a rope with a loop that you could throw onto the wheel so that it wouldn't move,
Yep. There is.
so that you could keep it steady if you had to leave for a little bit.
Yep.
So I will throw that on real quick. I will yell, "We're under attack!"
Okay.
and I will dash forward straight towards Quiquay so I can kick him awake on the way.
All right.
30, 40. Yep. That's one move.
All right. Bop him. All right. Anything else? Are you gonna keep moving or just move up?
Yeah, I'll move another 40, and I'm going to be drawing my flail while I'm moving.
Okay.
Since this looks like something that perhaps short swords won't do as much damage to.
All right. All right. Cardoma, just roll a Constitution check for me.
8 total.
Okay, no, you're still sleeping. You don't hear anything.
I thought it was funny. Because he yelled. So.
I understand he yelled. You guys are down into the very below.
Oh, we're very
Yes.
Have you ever heard Collin yell?
Alexianna, you are up.
All right. So this thing jumped up there. And is it large or is it medium sized?
It's large.
It's large.
Quickly.
And is it so it's currently threatening
Eryn.
Black.
Yep.
Black.
All right. So but there's a so where are the masts? There's 3?
There's 2 masts.
Two
One right in front of Quiquay, and the other one is at the front of the ship.
Oh, further ahead
Yep.
from where I'm at. Okay. All right. I'm gonna pull her rapier, step here, stab at it.
All right.
I'm assuming this is more like in the center there.
Probably should have grabbed my shorts.
Up in the 20s to hit.
All right, you hit.
And not the best damage though. 4 points.
All right, so yeah, so you hit it. You do make contact to the water, but yeah, you just don't seem like you did much to it at all. You just
And
into it.
and then I will. So that's 10 feet. 20. Just gonna get up closer to the mast. Is it one of these?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to dash up.
My plan is to develop this ship as time goes on, depending if you guys stay on it, the crew or not. Because if you don't, I'm not going to build it anymore.
Oh, come on.
If you guys stay, then I will continue to build it. I have. Don't worry, guys.
So how far up is the poop deck? Like the crow's nest.
The crow's nest is actually the one in the middle.
The one in the middle.
Yeah, and that's up like 20 feet up.
She's still gonna climb up.
This
into
is
rig.
purely just a mast with a sail on it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go up 30 feet into the rigging.
Okay, perfect. No problem. All right, Dramire, roll a Constitution's check for me.
9.
No, you're still sleeping too. You don't hear anything.
Yeesh.
All right, so once again, this form of water just comes smashing down at Eryn again, and just completely just goes right over your head. Just
Matrix.
yeah. All right, so Handsome, you are up, drumming your beat, and you hear Collin from up above
Whisper.
yell, "We're being attacked."
No, it's whisper.
Okay. I'll grab my horn and I'll run up the stairs.
Okay.
I'll blow my horn as I'm running up the stairs.
Okay.
And can I get close to the top where I can see Collin?
You will get to the top deck, and you can put him right by Quiquay. It's kind of the middle part is where he comes a little back further, right there.
Wait, does
Is
that
your
wake
horn
us
a
up?
bugle?
Wait, does that wake
Yes.
us all up? The horn?
Well, yeah, it's an alarm horn, but it's also a bardic instrument too. So probably a bugle or some kind of Viking horn thing.
All right, perfect. Yeah.
So I'll start out with a really loud blow.
All
Then
right.
I'll kind of make it rhythmic and kind of exciting. And then I'll, if Collin's within 60 feet of me, I'll try to give him inspiration also.
All right. See within
Collin,
60.
you're so
brave. Yeah.
40, yep.
Yeah. Yep. So you have inspiration, Collin.
Okay. What is that
It's
going
a
to give me?
D6.
D6.
Okay.
All right.
You can add it to your
Nice.
attack, ability check, saving throw.
Good job.
One time, right?
All right.
Yep, one time.
Okay.
I make it. That first one, Bill, was really loud. As long as I can get it.
Yep, sure. Down below where you guys are all sleeping, the door opens. You hear Captain Draven, "Above! We're being attacked by something! Get above!" And he starts heading up the stairs, and he has a cutlass on his side, and he'll make it up. Do you have his? Yeah, just put him right next to Handsome. He'll come up. All right. All right, Risna, you are awake. You wake up to you hear Captain Draven yelling, "We're being attacked," and you see him running up the stairs.
All right, I'll grab my weapon and shield and move up to as fast as I can. I think that's 50 feet total.
Okay, perfect. And remember, you guys they're down below aren't in armor, unless it's like hide or leather.
You mean I can't sleep with my plate, man?
No, sorry.
What about my scale mail?
No, sorry. All right, that's Risna. So you make it to the top deck. You see this large water thing just swinging over at Eryn.
Now you pissed off the ocean because of your slavery. Great.
He looks at you. It's not the time, Risna. Ozichar.
Water elemental. I've seen these before.
It's too big to be. Well, maybe. I mean, it's gigantic. but it's very big, and it's actually still in the water too. It's like come up. It's this whole huge thing of water. It's not just formed in the sense right there on the deck.
So it's not standing on deck. It's
Are
No.
you guys serious? You couldn't handle water?
this could be a lot bigger than
Water.
All right, Eryn.
Captain.
Eryn, you are up.
Captain, this is what you woke us up for. Water. Just drink it all up. It will go away.
It can drown.
I'm sure it's salt water, Ozichar. So you go ahead and you start drinking. We'll
I
see
don't
how
know
you
what
do.
salt water tastes like, so.
All right, Eryn, you are up.
Okay, let's thirsty.
like your
It
boyfriend's,
Seem like it's like. Does it seem like the sword thing affected it at all?
You couldn't tell. I mean, you
Okay.
saw him hit it. You saw it
Did it,
like it hit it, but it didn't
back
seem
up?
to. No, it didn't even seem to like be bothered by it
Or did
that
it
much.
like seal back up?
More like she just woofed through it, went through the
Oh.
water.
Well, then that's hard to deal with. I'm gonna move away from it so it doesn't come at me.
Okay,
more
so you're
often.
gonna disengage.
Yeah.
All right. No problem.
This way.
All right.
Get a better look at it.
All right, Quiquay. So you wake up to all this, and you see the captain and all these other people over your head.
Who wakes Quiquay up? What's going on?
Captain to fight water.
Oh God. Yoji, what should we do? Need rage? You think so? All right.
All right.
So Quiquay uses the rest of his action to rage, and you've played the barbarian, so I'm assuming that mechanically they can still do that.
Yep. Bonus action.
Love.
Bonus action. So he stands up and he goes, "Ooga chaka, ooga 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 chaka, ooga ooga. I can't fight this feeling."
Just run forward.
And he runs.
All right.
He doesn't do the "I can't fight this feeling" part.
So 2 moves just to get you up there, or
Yeah.
do you wanna...
If I can get up to him, it doesn't matter. He does not care.
All right. Perfect. All right. It is a new round. Collin, you are up.
All right. Colin's gonna take a step forward, 5 feet. He's gonna swing on this thing.
What are you using?
Right now, I'm just using a flail.
Okay.
It's just a plain old flail. Not my favorite weapon, but I figured something that bashes water is better than something that pokes it. So, and I'm betting that don't work. That's only going to be an 11.
No, 11. Yeah, you just swoop by it.
All right, and then I'm going to dash back 35 feet.
Okay. All right. Cardoma, you are up. You heard the captain saying this. What do you do?
He gets up very slowly.
All
Probably
right.
take next one. He's very, of course, now.
Do you come on up?
He kind of very slowly makes his way up the stairs.
All right.
Doesn't even grab anything.
All right. Perfect. All right, Alexianna, you are up.
All right. Well, thank you, Quiquay. She's going to. Okay, so she.
So she.
So she's going to drop her rapier down to the ground with a nice thud into the deck,
Okay.
and pulls her crossbow, and she's going to fire at this
All right.
thing. All right. So another good hit. But shitty damage once more. So 7 points.
All right. All right. So yeah, once again you hit it. You think you did something to it, but once again, it's just not a lot. You know, it just doesn't. It doesn't even seem to be phased. But you know, in a sense, you've been fighting. You know, you're good with your crossbow. You're like, I hit it. I penetrated the thing. But yeah, it doesn't like. You know, all of a sudden the water faces you or anything. It's like
Right.
seeing its opponent in front
Yeah,
of it.
but I don't think this thing's doing. I don't know. I think this is really big.
Dramire, you are up.
Okay, waking up. He'll grab his warhammer and his shield and dash up there.
All right.
So I guess I'll be the same.
Yep.
That's all.
Put you up there. All right. Perfect.
That's perfect. Exactly.
Let's see.
That's perfect.
You're perfect, Dash.
You're gonna just come up right where they're at.
I'm just counting the spaces out or
Alright.
something. Oh, I will become caster from the one.
All right. So another one pops up right here, right next to Eryn. Again,
Eryn. Eryn.
Eryn.
another
I like you.
this large form of water comes down and where you're standing, you thought you got away. Another one comes out of the water.
It likes you.
I don't like it.
All right.
No one likes Pennywise.
All right. Yeah, and so this thing hits you. This time it smacks and tries to wrap around you. I need you to go ahead and make a escape check.
Okay. We do this before I finish writing down my new cantrips.
Where's
about
my-
Maddie.
I have like 4 here.
I was writing down new cantrips.
Are we athletics or acrobatics?
Either or. What's the total?
So is this a
Escape.
well, escape is not a skill, but
Acrobatics or athletics.
You can use acrobatics or athletics.
all right. So your athletics is going to be for acrobatics, which is better.
Acrobatics, so that would be 10.
A 10.
All right. So you see it wrap around and grab Eryn.
Shit.
And Erin's grabbed off the boat a little bit. All of a sudden hovering. Her feet dangling, just probably right about the rail, about 3 feet, 4 feet up.
Someone hit that.
All right, and the other one tries to strike at Quiquay. What's your armor class?
All right, I have right now. I have
Players.
no armor. I think armor is shameful, but I have a wicker and animal skin shield, and that my Tiaki, which is traditional
Ozichar.
horse beard.
Perfect.
Ozichar.
What's the armor class?
18.
18.
Ozichar.
Perfect. And then what's your hit points?
26.
26.
Grab Eryn.
All right.
It's already ahead of you. She is my
Oh,
comrade.
so yeah, it swings at you, but just misses. It goes right over your head. This
I
slosh
see
of
you just had to
water.
be faster than the dwarves, though.
And that's that. Handsome, you are up.
Okay, so the one of them picked up Eryn.
Yes, one has grabbed Eryn, and Erin's hanging about 3 feet off the water, or off the deck of the ship.
I feel like if it dropped her right now, she'd fall in the water.
No, I've dropped her right now. I've dropped her back on deck.
Okay, and am I within 60 feet of it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so he's gonna dissonant whispers, and he says, "Hey, you! Your mother lived in a dog bowl,
All right.
Fair enough.
and it needs to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 15."
All right. It actually misses. So it will. So what happens?
Failed save. It takes 3d6 psychic damage. I'll let Alex roll for that, or Eryn, or Ace.
Okay, I'll roll.
And then it must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Okay,
Does that help Shit.
it takes 11
Well,
points.
let's go over.
All right. So
11 points.
It worked once before with the
11.
snake.
Okay. Thank you.
Heavy.
All right. Let's see.
Intentions are good.
All right. It does. Luckily, it does drop Eryn back on the deck, and it just goes directly underwater. So, Alex, you want to hand me that?
Bye-bye.
And then that does it get a saving throw? What, next round or whatever to come back, or does it just automatically end?
I'm sorry I said that about your mother.
I'll come back. You can look that up, handsome. So the captain he yells, "These are they're called water weirds."
Yes, they're very weird.
Because they just go after one person.
Yeah, me.
How do we take them down?
He's gonna move on up.
This will only last that round.
You
Yeah, it's
scare
an
'em.
instantaneous.
Okay, this one. Right? Okay, perfect. All right. So he comes on up with his cutlass. Risna, you are up.
Alright, so the one's disappeared, so I guess I'm going to charge the other one. I don't know if I can make it there, but 25 feet, is that going to get me there?
No, it won't get you there.
Alright, well then I'll
Halfway.
just be next to it for next round.
All right.
Go ahead and move me up there, and I'll stand next to one of my allies and be ready to do that shield thing. So,
All right. So yeah, you're standing next to the captain. All right.
perfect.
All right.
The one you don't want to do it.
Ozichar, you are up.
Now I'm going to attempt to shoot it with my hand crossbow.
All right.
What will a crossbow bolt do against a water weird? Let me think about that.
Gonna be 15 to hit
The 15 hits.
for 5 points of damage.
All right. 5 points. All right, so you hit it. You think you did something to it, but it's once again it doesn't seem to like react to you at all. All right, you done? All right, Eryn, you are up.
Okay.
Then I grab out my battle axe.
Okay.
I don't know what to do to it. Everyone's up at the front.
Alexianna doesn't touch you.
Shoot it!
No.
We'll find out.
What do you mean? I did something to it. Just because it didn't look at my direction doesn't mean I didn't do something to it.
Nice hit.
Yep, that hit.
Not much great damage.
Not that. Yeah. What's the damage?
Yeah, plus 5.
7.
7. All right, so yeah, you take the shot, you hit it. Once again, you don't think you did much to it, but you definitely hit it. You got contact with it. But it's still there. Doesn't even notice you really.
Well, it does.
You do anything else, Eryn? All right. Okay, Quiquay, you are up.
I'm going to use my tiahi on him, my spear. For the ancestors, that would be 19,
You hit.
and that would be 12 points of spear damage.
All right. So yeah. So finally, yeah. So you slash into it. You hit it. And it kind of coils back. So it finally looks like he's like the first person that has actually made it kind of like aware of its situation here. So.
And then just, of course,
All right. It is a new round. Collin, you were up.
there's
Frustration.
+2 for the, I forgot the rage thing has a
Yep,
bonus of
plus
2.
2 damage.
Oh,
So
okay,
he's got
so
2 more
another-
damage.
All right. Perfect.
Wonderful.
That's
Yep.
Hello, Drax.
All right.
All right. In frustration at this stupid flail, which I normally wouldn't pull out, I see that he actually hit it and did some damage. So I drop my flail, and I'm gonna pull out both my +1 short swords.
Okay.
And I'm gonna come running across, and when I get to here, I'm going to leap up, make an acrobatics roll to try and push off from the top of the rail with my right foot, roll over Risna into this spot and attack it.
All right. Okay.
Nice. Our captain's trying to show his allegiance.
Natural 20.
Oh, nice. All right.
All right. And then for my first attack, I get, since there are other people there, I should be able to get my sneak attack damage if I hit. So And that's going to be a 23 to hit.
Yep, that hits it.
And that's going to do 7 points with a magical short sword.
All right. So yeah, you definitely connect. It also coils back.
I'm sorry, plus 5 more. I'm sorry, add 5 more.
Okay, no problem.
Or 4 more. 4 more,
Okay.
sorry.
Got it. All right.
No, 5 more because I got the plus 1. Never mind.
Okay.
Add 5 more. All right, and then the second one, swing with my other one. And that's going to be a 17.
That hits.
And that's going to be 7 more points with another plus 1.
So 7 or 8?
7
Okay,
points
7
damage with that one.
All right. So.
And then, no, I already used that. Never mind. So then that's where I'm at.
All right, nice. So yeah, so it coils back, both hits as you hit it. All right, Cardoma, you are up.
I'll go and go there and just do an acid splash on it. So
All
that
right.
just makes a reflex save. We'll take
No,
D6.
it's the end.
14 misses.
I think
And
it
only
might
if
make
certain
it here.
criteria met, like
Yeah, so it just kind of moves out of the way as you this little splash of acid goes its way. It just moves out of the way.
But cool. Get
All the-
advantage.
Alexianna, you are
There's
up.
only certain times where you get advantage.
All right, I will.
So you have to figure out what those are. They're in the book.
So this thing has not thus far been paying attention
To you?
to
No.
me. So I'm gonna go behind the sail portion, or
Okay.
one part of the lateral mast, and see if I can't hide from it. And
Yeah, you're good.
hide check. 13.
You're good.
Okay. So advantage on
Um,
that. There you go. That's a little better. So hit with 17 points.
Nice.
You don't need advantage on the
All right.
The enemy and the target is within 5 feet, but that enemy isn't incapacitated and you don't have disadvantage.
Yeah, so it now coils back. So this first time it's like actually, like all of a sudden, looks at the water, is looking over at you and looking at the group and stuff like that.
But this is
so-
still just an arm of something reaching out. not-
Yeah, it's all, you see the water because you're up. You see from the very bottom, like the water, it's like from the bottom of the water in the ocean, all the way launched up, all the way to the top of the boat, and then swinging down.
So I go up.
I see you got up just a little more. All right, no problem. All right, Dramire, you are up.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 30.
All right.
And then guiding bolt.
All right.
There you
A 19's gonna hit.
That's gonna hit. Yep.
46. I like the damage on this one.
Mark, you know spells?
13 points.
All right. So blast it. All right.
And
And who's
And the next person to attack it has advantage.
All right. Perfect. All right. And
That's
it is
rolling.
up. All right. Let's see what
Just
happens.
gets blasted.
All right.
Is that or a different skill? It says more pictures.
All right. So. All of a sudden, another one probably the same one, comes back up at Eryn, and then another one comes
Wait.
across
I knew I should
up
have
there
gone
at
back in the middle.
Dramire. So 2 more pop up along the sides as they come. So first, the one that comes up at
I
Eryn.
just wanted to see.
Yep, it's Eryn again.
Let's shoot out like a cannonball. Break the turret.
Oh, and the guiding bolt was more of a darkish light, a gray light.
Eryn, now you are minus 28 points.
Oh.
As this thing swats and grabs around you, I need you once again to make an escape check.
all right.
Please.
What's your roll?
What-
4?
what's your-
All right.
No, what's your total?
It's
Plus 7.
Oh, so 11.
11.
But not quite good enough. So once again, it wraps around you. You get pulled off about 4 feet off the deck.
Oh god.
The next one's for Dramire.
That'd be so bad.
But it's gonna miss you.
Wait, what is it to hit? Because remember, I have a
I know what you're. I know. If I was even close, I would ask. It was low. Okay, buddy. All right.
I have a bonus. Like,
I know you don't
You
have
better
this.
help me.
All right, and then the other one has what? 3 targets over there. 1 up there. And it goes for Collin. Swings down.
I'm still next to it. I'll try to disadvantage there with my
All
shield.
right. Put your shield up in front. Try to stop the blast. And yeah, that definitely it swifts over. It's surprised by all of a sudden a dwarf shield goes up above Collin's, in front of Collin's torso, and it just bounces back on off.
And I believe, hold on just a sec, I believe I can do something here when that happens. I had the page open, and of course I shut it.
I try to knock Collin in the water at the same time.
Whatever. Wow. Oh, come on, where are you?
Your opportunity passed. As he was dancing on the railing.
Why can't I find the fighter?
All right. Well,
Yeah, I know.
Here it
He was
is.
too quick for me.
There it is.
Starts with
Three.
F.
Here we go. When a creature misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to spend 1 superiority die to make a melee weapon attack against the creature. If you hit, add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll.
Okay.
So, and one of those. So I'm gonna make an attack. Hopefully, that isn't gonna do it. It's only gonna be a 10.
No. Yeah. So swift. Yes. Swish as a thing gets
But I
recoiled.
tried.
Yep.
Your superiority die D8.
But the superiority die, add your superiority die to the damage, not to the attack.
Handsome, you are up.
You get to make an attack.
Okay,
as a
Bill, have we gotten a long rest since we went out last?
Oh yeah, yeah. You guys have been on the boat for a couple days now.
Okay. All right. Am I within 30 feet of Eryn?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna move over to her, and as I'm moving, I'm gonna cast vicious mockery on the water thing,
All right.
and he's gonna say, "Well, weirdo water, you smell like you came from a natural spring of an ogre's butt."
All right.
All right, so it gets a wisdom save DC 15.
All right. It misses.
Okay, so it takes 1d4 psychic damage. I'll let someone roll. And then it has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Okay. Perfect.
It makes before the end of its next turn. And then as I'm moving, I'm going to try to get within, right next to her if I can, or next to the water weird. I'm going to stick my hand out like towards her. I'm going to say, "Eryn, grab my hand, I'll pull you out."
All right. All right.
1 point.
Good God.
All right. 1 point. All right. Thank you. All right. That's handsome. All right. The captain here. All right. So he is going to go ahead and take a swing here. He hits. And he hits again. So he basically takes 2 stabs at this thing. Maybe have a look at him.
And the other's like, but this was my soulmate, and now I found my twin. Now I know why I'm so sorry. He said the other one.
2 attacks.
It has disadvantage when it's next to her. He's reaching out a hand.
Remember that? They're boofing each other in the behind.
Yeah, so you see him slash twice at this thing. All right. That's the captain.
New Jersey.
Definitely seems like he's affected as well. Risna. You are up.
Alright, Eryn's still floating in the air.
Yes, Eryn is still floating about 4 feet in the air over there.
And how far is she from me? I can't quite tell on the map.
20 feet.
20 feet.
Perfect. I'm gonna move over there. You'll get an attack at me.
It's an actual story.
No, he won't.
Yeah, it will actually.
Which one?
Huh?
Which one?
That one. The one that he's leaving.
They won't be
Oh,
crossing
yes,
the
10 foot reach.
Yeah.
forest. Circulations between.
But misses. Just completely just swashes over your head completely.
Yeah, water creatures can't touch me. And then I'm gonna try to grab Risna and pull her down.
Or,
Sorry, not Risna. Eryn. Sorry.
Okay. Just give me a. You don't need to attack. I'm going to say that that's not going to be a problem. Give me a just a strength check. Yeah.
All right, cool. Oh, that's terrible though. 8.
Oh no, yeah. So you grab her leg, but you can't pull it free of free of the water weird.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hang on.
All right, perfect. That's Ozichar.
She didn't get her?
Huh? No, you can see her grab. So you see Risna hanging on her leg, but can't grab her down. She's got her leg, and now Risna's dangling off a foot off the ground.
I guess the halfling and the dwarf got her. Should be fun.
You hear the captain actually say, "No, help her! She's almost dead. Can't you see that? We got this." Or help Ozichar.
You mean me?
Or not Ozichar. Help
I help
Dramire.
myself all the time.
Dramire. Help Dramire. Or help Eryn.
I have 3.
We're fine.
points left.
No.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, you're that in this?
Yeah. I have 28.
Alright, maybe there's
I have 28 points.
a turn.
That's a 15 hit.
Yes.
Alright, then I'm going to divine smite.
All right.
So, the actual damage is 8, and then the smite is 12.
Okay, nice. All right. So yeah, so you definitely hit it. It reels back some.
I do this in silence, trying to not show them that I'm a spell.
I see it on the legs.
Silence. I'm not talking about you.
All right, Eryn, you are up. So you need to make an escape check here to get out of this thing.
Okay. I can run over.
Maybe advantage because I'm helping.
No, not advantage.
Run over here.
And the water
Take
turns
my hand. I'll
to
help you out.
Oh, you know what? With both of them, I will give you advantage because I
Okay,
forgot
so
handsome
I
strike, even though it's kind of people, but I'll give you because with Risna and them.
I'll go with my first roll.
It might help if you actually intentionally roll it rather than
Yeah.
dropping it out of your hand. Learn to roll, kid. Anyway, so what's this?
That's the teacher.
What's the total?
Is what's that?
What's the total?
13.
All right, 13's the total.
No, 8. It's 15.
Okay, 15.
15.
All right, so 15. Yep. So you managed to just escape out of it. What do? You drop out of it. You hit the deck.
Yay! I'm gonna run.
All
Try
right.
not to get hit by another one.
Come over here.
You're making a wise choice.
Get over here.
Not over by you. You have another one. I'm not going by
I'll
that.
get behind.
All right. However, as you try to run away, it grabs you or tries to grab you again.
Instantly.
So, does it?
Well, one. Actually,
Do the dwarf and the
you
halfling
see
still have her
it. You
legs?
see it just grab her. She goes limp in its arms, and grabs her.
Do they still have her legs? They are short.
No, no. That's Eryn Quiquay. You are up.
Put her down. She's unconscious or what?
Yeah, it looks like she's
Well,
unconscious,
she's in them.
but she's got
has
it.
disadvantage on its attack.
Oh, that's true.
Vicious mockery.
Vicious mockery. It didn't get
Oh,
disadvantage.
thank you. Okay, then.
Very nice.
Okay, then you're fine.
Yay!
Good job.
Excellent.
Thank you, little
Excellent.
Woofta.
Thank you, handsome.
Go down below
Welcome.
deck.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Eryn's gonna have
All right,
I'm
Quiquay,
done
you're
with these
up.
little monsters.
Okay. So goes in, he's raging that dude, tongue wagging, spittle flying.
Save the damsel.
That's what 7. So that's 15 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay. That is 13 plus 5. That's 18 points of piercing damage.
All right, so as you pierce it into it, you connect, and then the water just kind of drains back on off the ship. You can take that out
Hallelujah,
of
we
there.
got that one down.
Nice. Do you do anything else?
Move towards this guy this way.
That one over there. All right.
I done.
All right, it's a new round. All right. Collin, you are up.
Well, then Collin will move up towards this one that's over here. Yep, straight. Yep. How much should that take to get there?
20.
All right, and then Collin will swing his first one. Poke with his left one.
Oh,
Natural 20.
Nice.
Amazingness. I'm gonna call them the cards of amazingness.
All right.
Ouch. Oh, that's +6.
All right, so maximum damage.
Okay, so 18 and 5 is 23.
23 points. All right.
Yeah. What else does it do?
1 sec. Are you done attacking?
No, I have a second attack.
Then go ahead and do your second attack.
Yeah, that one misses.
All right, and then who's next to it? Who else is there?
Yeah,
Ozichar and the Half-Orc.
All right, so both of you roll off 20-sider. Just you two.
A 5.
All right, just roll a 20-sider.
14.
14. So now you can make an attack of opportunity on it as well, as
I failed.
as he freed up a spot for you to attack.
6 points of damage.
All right.
Minimum.
All
Minimum
right.
wage.
Nice. Still hit it.
That's all right. At least I hit it. And then I'll take the
At least
20
you
feet
hit
of extra movement to back up.
All right. All right. That's Collin. All right. Cardoma, you're up.
Excuse me.
Go ahead and fire a witch bolt on the one on the left here.
Okay.
On my left.
Sure. Second level.
To kind of connect a line of electricity between us.
Nice.
Probably gonna miss though. It's gonna be an 11.
Yeah, that misses.
Yeah, so I throw it off the deck.
All right.
Connection.
Magic scares.
He's a bit sleepy, so he missed times it.
All right, Alexianna, you are up.
all right. Well, from this vantage point, I want to plug that bastard that tried taking my friend off the bed. So.
Try.
All right. That's gonna be a hit.
And then
And
twice.
so 15 points.
All right.
If you try your best but you don't succeed, try again.
You fail.
Okay.
I'll do my haka. My haka.
All right. You're done?
Yeah.
All right, Dramire, you are up.
Oh, my turn?
Yes, your turn.
Okay, first the hammer.
All right.
The hammer of justice. 22 to hit
22 hits.
for 8 points.
All right.
And then I call upon Morgulog's weapon as this black mace appears. Right here. I'm gonna help out with this.
Here you go. Use this.
This black mace appears.
Yeah, okay.
I forgot to pull up for you. And that gets an attack.
All right, go ahead.
Check to make sure.
That way you kind of live that far from us. She's pretty close. Yeah. She's like.
15.
I think
That
it's
hits.
up to-
Ooh, for max points,
she's
12
just-
points.
Wow,
maybe
nice.
5-6 blocks to the west of
All right, so yeah, so you definitely
Or 2
connect
or
with it,
2-11,
reels
second
back
half.
some.
Okay, that's
She's
that
not
spell.
far away.
All right, then.
She's like a mile away.
Yeah.
So who do I have
You know,
there?
you won't have to know.
There's
Ozichar.
Quiquay.
That's a good place for dinner.
Where's that? Huh?
Risna and
Oh, handsome.
He's pretty easy going.
All right, it goes for Risna. All right. But misses. And then who do I got over there? I got Ozichar, Dramire. Anybody else?
Georgians.
Ozichar, Dramire. Anybody else with that one? All right. Now that one goes for Dramire. What's your AC?
13.
13. It misses. It's right by you.
I don't have.
All right, handsome, you are up.
So Erin's still up, right? She's conscious.
Yeah, she actually went below deck or dived down the stairs.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay, that changes what I was going to do. I will. I'll give Risna inspiration because Risna's fighting one, right?
Yes, right next to you. Yeah, so Risna's right there with you.
How fancy are you wanting to take?
All right, Risna, you gotta get up. You gotta fight this thing. I know you're a grouchy dwarf, but we can do this.
All right. All right, the captain. Go ahead.
That's my bonus action, Bill.
Oh,
Then
sorry.
I'm gonna, thanks. I've never really attacked anything before. I'm gonna get my rapier out and swing at it.
All right, go ahead.
When's Valentine's?
All right.
In about 2 weeks.
I fucking hate you.
16 plus. No, I'm not plus 1. 16.
That hits.
Oh wow. Okay. Someone want to roll a D8 minus 1, please?
1.
Two on the die, so you know.
All right, so you hit it, but you don't think you did anything. But you hit it.
It's attention, so Risna can get off the floor.
You don't even think it paid attention to you whatsoever. All right. All right, so the captain's now up. He is going to go move over and help Handsome and Risna. Can he get to the other side of Handsome? 30 feet. Oh, actually, he can go 40. My bad, I forgot about this. Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and swing twice on this thing. He's going to hit. He's going to hit both times. Ooh. And that one just goes splashing down. It just goes down in the water.
The one next to it.
Wow.
Are there 2 on this
No,
side?
that's the
No.
Oh.
Risna, you are up.
All right, so I'll just keep following the big guns, I guess. Move me to the other one.
All right. You can swing.
Okay. We'll swing and might as well action search. Here's my chance to do anything useful. All right. All right, first one's an 11. It's probably going to miss.
11 does
Your
miss.
inspiration. Yeah. Oh, I do have an inspiration. I'll use your inspiration. Is it a 6 or a 4? 6. Thanks for the reminder. Oh, I rolled a 1. We're up to 12.
That still misses.
All right, action search. I'll swing again here.
All right.
Oh, I have superiority dex. What was I thinking? Oh man, that misses too. Wow. I hate fighting on water.
Wait, don't die.
Yeah,
Maybe it's your attitude.
as the boat rocks a little. All right, Ozichar, you are up.
I'm done.
Swinging on it. 20.
Yeah, natural 20 or just
No,
20? Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to use my divine smite again. 8 for the divine smite, and I think 6 for the weapon.
Okay. All right, still you hit it, reels back a little bit. All right, Eryn, you're down below deck. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
Anything?
I'm going to peek up and try and shoot at that one.
All right,
If I can.
sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Don't you mean that one?
Oh, sorry, head up from the
Yep. Poke at it.
or the door, the trap door.
Good ones.
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to do a total if you're ready?
Yes.
So you want to do either distracting strike, probably the do distracting strike.
I'm gonna do distracting strike.
Okay.
Father. Hello.
Yeah. Roll a d8.
I don't have another baby.
An 8.
Okay.
Distracting strike. You hit it. Spend 1 to distract it, giving allies an opening. Add superior die to damage roll. So the next attack roll against the target
It's
by an
advantage.
attacker other than you has advantage.
Okay.
Awesome.
So
So
And so what's the total damage?
15.
no,
No.
plus 5.
Oh, plus 5. 20.
20 points.
20 points.
Jeez,
Damn it.
nice.
Got it back on track.
And do it again.
All
Now
right.
what do you do?
Oh,
All right.
Do it again.
Yes.
Okay, go
Do it
ahead.
again.
All right, attack again.
Just roll the 1. Yep. D8. Nice. You hit again.
Okay, again. And
That plus
Yeah.
5.
so 7 points of damage.
So, all right.
And then you get
So, yes, I'm gonna duck down.
Huh? Oh, duck back down. All right.
Yep. Make sure nothing can
All
get
right.
One pops out.
Quiquay, you
One
are up.
pops out from from
Rush me towards whatever it is that is left. I can't fight this feeling. That's the bars part. So I want to. I saw this thing grapple. But anyway, I'm going to. Guess what? Stab it with my spear.
Oh my god! So unheard.
Are you shocked? That is 16 to hit,
That hits.
and that would be 6 plus 5, 11.
All right. So you stab into it.
Is it still alive?
No, it just goes back into the water. This.
Oh, Yoji wanted me to grapple you after that. You shouldn't have died yet. I don't think you have any bones to make into any jewelry for me.
Sorry.
No, it doesn't. The captain says.
the water
All
bottle.
right.
I disperse my
Bones, when he
spiritual
parts
weapon.
for its mana.
Disperse!
All right. Captain says, "Thank you."
Where was the rest of your crew?
There's some onlookers now. You know. You see, steering the ship is this other tiefling, this blue-colored tiefling with black horns. He's steering the ship now. All right. So if you guys don't do anything, you'll heal up. Of course, the next day and such, get healed or that
Yes,
night.
everything gone.
I go back to the stern and take the rope off and start.
He's actually, you see Mikhail already. He's steering, and when you come back, he says, "All right, I'm going back to sleep. You good?" He
Yep.
says.
I'm fine.
All right, then I'm gonna go back to sleep. All right, so if nothing else happens, it's kind of in a sense uneventful. What's that sound in the background, one of you two?
Ooga,
Yeah.
ooga, ooga.
Jared,
All right, there you go. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna go down and talk
Oh.
to the captain
Okay.
and say,
Captain, was there any way to see that before it?
No. You wouldn't know those things. That's the thing. A lot of times when we haven't anything coming from at the sea, a lot of times, unless it's another ship, we're not going to see it usually coming. Any water creatures or water beasts that we have to deal with, a lot of times we're going to have no clue when it's coming. All of a sudden. So sometimes it's...
It wasn't my fault.
That's not good.
No,
defense.
no. There's no way you could expect to see that. So, no. Watery beasts. So,
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, a couple days go by here, and you hear from the crow's nest in the morning, "Land ho!" And as you approach this busy port city, there are probably a couple dozen of ships of a variety of sizes, either leaving, entering, or docked in this large port city. Along the southern side of the port, where the ships come to dock or move further along the city port, is a large stone keep. Past the keep are buildings starting at the shoreline and rise up through the city. Buildings just grow and grow behind one another as you all realize the city must be built on what was once a large hill. Most of the buildings seem to be made of stone, and many of them are 2 to 4 stories high. You all see many different flags flying from steepled roofs and must represent different merchant houses. Many of the roofs are red stone, and deeper into the city you see several towers that stand higher than any of the other buildings or homes, shops, or merchant buildings in the area. As the ship gets closer to the dock, you will witness many smaller boats ferrying people back and forth to ships in the port, along with fishing boats and small boats selling or buying goods from one another or the ships in port. There's also a large river further inland. Welcome to Freeport. You hear the port master yell in a smaller boat coming up to you guys. And that's where we'll end for the night.
Ooh. Captain, where are the slave traders at?
He said that's where we end for the night.
That's where we end for the night.
You'll have to wait till next week to try and slay yourself.
Knowing Bilbo, it's probably called Freeport, and it's just full of slayers.
Yup.
I guarantee you, yes, there will be some slavers here.
After
More.
me and Risna are done with it,
All right.
running through town.
Watch
Good
them
luck
go
with
attack the illithid that's the illithid slave. slaver.
I don't think there'll be an illithid slaver here.
He's hiding below decks. He has his human thralls that do the work for him.
So I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Thanks for the people that watched us tonight. Thanks for the people who will be watching this later on YouTube, of course. Please hit the follow, like, subscribe button. You guys know the deal. You've been watching long enough. You might as well see it, chill out, sir, sit down on your butt. We'll be back on Wednesday night for Tales from the Yawning Portal, our 70th episode.
Wow.
And we are currently in Dead and Fae. And we'll see if they're going to the Ooze Grotto, I guess. So that should be a lot of fun. Well, naked. They're going to the Ooze Grotto naked.
That just doesn't sound right.
So definitely tune in for that. Remember, it's cool to be a geek. Good night.
What?
No, you're gonna be